Hi, welcome. How are you? This is the twin flame. Okay, we're going to do twin flame reading for September. I know it's the 1st of August, so I can't quite believe it, but yeah, I'm going to do the soulmate reading for September. Let's see what's going on. Twin flame. Did I just say soulmate? Sorry, I don't know why I've got soulmate on my mind, but we're going to do twin flame first because I always do twin flame first. So let's see what message we get. Okay, I did put the romance cards away actually yesterday and get the unicorn deck out. So let's just go with the unicorn deck and maybe we'll get a romance card out at the end. So thanks for subscribing, thanks for giving the video a thumbs up and hanging in there through the summer because the channel's a little bit different to normal, but I think everyone's off doing different things anyway. So Spirit, please show us what is happening for the twin flame. Or this is somebody who's emotionally avoidant in your life. Thankful. Think about the people and the things that you feel grateful for. So they're saying that you will be actually feeling very grateful in September and maybe even in the run-up to September. Let's see what fairy energy we're getting. Yeah, you see, look, the ego wants to pull you into gloom and doom. The ego wants you to think of the negatives, but I don't think you're going to succumb to it. I think we're going to really be looking at the positives. I know this is something I've been working on. I've always found gratitude quite difficult, and I didn't really realise how difficult I found it, and I think it's because I had quite a lot of negative mind patterns. So I used to find it quite hard to be, you know, positive and sort of in gratitude. But something that helped me figure it out very recently is the fact that everything in the 3D reality is essentially flawed because the physical reality is the physical reality. It's temporary and it's inherently flawed, okay? Divinity, source, is really the ultimate perfection, isn't it? So anything you get here is illusion, samsara, do you see? So that's where I've started to realise to be grateful, because it's like, actually, be grateful for what you have got, even if it is flawed, because everything in the matrix is flawed anyway. And that's the bottom line. And the best you can do is actually not touch the matrix, not touch the 3D reality, you know, if you can help it. But it's hard. It's very hard. It's a very pure spiritual practice to follow, not touching people in the matrix or things in the matrix, because the ego wants to touch things, you see. So it's a very testing type of spiritual practice to follow, but it is the most pure practice, because the less you go into the matrix, the closer you are to spirit. The closer you are to spirit, the closer you are to divinity, you see, and perfection, ultimately. So, you know, if you haven't seen your twin flame, or you're not with your twin flame, how can I put this? The reality is your twin flame is, I know the twin flame thing is an energetic thing, and actually in the energetic form, it's probably more pure than it is when you actually are with them in the physical reality, because the physical reality is flawed. And if you've got somebody in your life that's not your twin flame, but they're emotionally avoidant, because this reading also pertains to that, again, it is what it is, because they are part of the matrix too, and they are emotionally avoidant for whatever reason, you know, and that is unfortunately the case, that we are living in this physical 3D reality. And it's never going to be the perfection that we would like, you see. So that's actually helped me learn to be more grateful. But that's just my spiritual beliefs. It's not for everyone. Let's go into the twin flame then. Let's see what's happened in the recent past with the twin flame, please. Okay, so twin flame, this person's been facing quite a lot of challenges, believe it or not. They've had a lot of different challenges facing them lately. and they have felt quite determined to deal with the challenges that are headed their way. But they could be quite caught up in these things. You know, they're trying to learn how to tune into themselves better, because they've got the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is all about tuning into yourself, learning about yourself on a deep level. And it's kind of like they've got two things going on, because internally they're trying to understand themselves better, but then at the same time they've got these challenges that they face in the Matrix, so they may have been quite preoccupied and quite busy, you know, both with challenges in their life and also their own challenge of trying to understand themselves. I think they feel, for some reason, this person feels they have to be very true to themselves, you know, and a lot of people might not agree with this person. This person may face a lot of other people's opinions about their life and the way they live their life, and a lot of people may not agree with how they live their life, but this person is very tuned into their own needs. So they're not going to really listen to other people's opinions on their life. And they're dead set on just doing what they want to do. Okay, so that's what's going on for the twin flame. They're very, I would say this person is, or this emotionally avoidant person, they're very stubborn. Okay, they're very stubborn. They know who they are inside, or what they believe inside they are, and they are going to follow their own path regardless of what other people think or feel. So they could have been coming off as very stubborn or very preoccupied. So if you haven't been getting attention from this person, or they seem to have been very preoccupied with other things, maybe they haven't been prioritizing you, or they may have just been very appear to be quite selfish. That's the reason why. So what's going on? You've got here the King of Swords. That energy is all about boundaries and being quite cold and quite hard. So somebody has to be quite cold and hard, because obviously, well, let's see the reason why. This is a time for change. This is a time for change, and it means that because it's a time for change, somebody's going to have to be quite cold and hard about it. And that person may be you. You know, that person may be you, because it's time for a change, and it's like, I can see you being stubborn and just following what you want. And that's fair enough, because that's your deep journey and that's what you need to do. But that's not for me. I need a change. And you may seem quite cold to this person, and you may have to be quite harsh. But it's coming from a kind place, because you're just being honest. You could be quite brutally honest with this person. I would, from a consciousness perspective, say don't be too brutally honest. Just come up with excuses, or maybe just actually be silent is the most conscious thing. Don't get into conversations explaining, but just be more silent and withdraw if you feel that you're not resonating with this energy of this person, okay? Because I feel this person may have pushed you to your limits here, and you're just observing them, and you're like, you're not angry at them, but you're just observing them, and you're just thinking, my God, you're really just that stubborn, and you're that hell-bent on doing what's right for you at whatever cost, and it doesn't matter about other people in your life. You just want to do what's right for you. And you're watching that and thinking, wow, really? You know, it's like that kind of energy. And then it's like, well, actually, this is a time for a change then, because if you're going to be like that, then actually I'm going to be quite cold too and do what's right for me too. So that's kind of where it's at in September, right? Let's have a look. So the person you think about on the level look quite successful. They do get admiration from other people. So this could be someone who's quite attractive, or they're good at the gifts of the gab. They could be quite good at talking. They could be quite good at getting noticed. they've got a decision to make. They've got the Lovers card. Okay, so they're at a crossroads in their life and they need to make a decision about what they want to do going forwards. Do they want to be on their own? Do they want to prioritise their work or other things? You know, do they want to prioritise their ego? Do they want to prioritise the way they look? Because 6 of Wands is success and it's victory, but it's also a lot about admiration from others. So this person could be quite vain, or they could just be quite preoccupied with the way they look. You know, how do people perceive them, and are they perceived in the right way? Do they seem successful? You know, they want to create a persona. This person wants to create a persona, and Spirit is saying they need to make a decision. Is that really the way they want to go? Is that really the way they want to go here? Just looking on the surface like they're successful, but underneath, you know, underneath, with this person, there are issues, right? So, okay, so now this person, what do they think about you? They do have genuine thoughts about you with this 6 of Pentacles. They do genuinely like you, but they do also have this devil energy. It could be that they take more from you, or they used to take more from you with the devil energy, or they could like to dominate you and keep you a bit stuck. The 6 of Pentacles is about balance, but it's also about receiving. And coupled with the Devil card, I'm wondering whether they kind of liked to use you in some capacity and they like to receive from you, but how much are they actually going to give, you know? So that's interesting. How do they feel now in September? Not learning a higher lesson. They're not learning a higher lesson with the World card in reverse. It's not. There's a lack of success. Okay, there's a lack of success with the World card in reverse. This person isn't really getting it. There's something Spirit's trying to teach them, but I don't think they understand it. They're very impatient. They've got the 7 of Pentacles reversed. This person could be giving up too soon. They could be giving up too soon on you, on your relationship, or giving up too soon on their learning, you know, on their higher path. Okay. How do they want to move forward in September? Well, they're very cautious. They're very cautious in September about how they would move forward. Look at that. Rigid. This person you are dealing here, I'm not going to lie, this is someone who is very stubborn. Very stubborn. So they're really rigid and they're very cautious. They wouldn't really give an inch or take a mile. If they do offer you something, or they try to reach out with an olive branch, this person would do it very tentatively. Now, Page of Pentacles is not a bad card, it is a good card, but you sort of have to do your research with this card, and you really do have to think, this person can get easily distracted. This person could get, because this person can get easily distracted because they're aware of lots of things that go on around them in the matrix, to do with work or to do with other people's opinions and what's going on in other people's lives. So they get quite over involved in other people's affairs, or just too over involved in work, you know, just matrix stuff. They're very much like that, so they get very easily distracted. So even if they offer you something where they're trying to offer you an olive branch or be nice, Tarot is sort of warning you and saying, look, just really think about it, because are they, they're going to still be very stubborn, they're not going to give you very much, and even what they do give you, there's the possibility that they could get distracted again, you know, and not actually really pull through. There is that possibility. Okay, so I'm sorry this is quite negative, but I'm just giving you exactly how it is. All right, because what happens is in September you may hear from them, but you've got to think about the fact that it looks like they've given up too soon. It looks like they're not really learning the higher lessons. Okay, what's hidden that you don't see is this beautiful energy here, the Queen of Wands. Now, I feel like that is probably you, in your power, motorbike, in your power, in your divinity, yeah, in your motivation, much more aligned. Queen of Wands is very connected to herself. Doesn't matter what gender or sexuality you are, very connected to herself. She knows her path. She knows where she's going. She feels healthy. She feels good, you know. And so she's not really going to get tempted by something that doesn't feel like a real offer. If it doesn't feel genuine, she wouldn't get distracted by that. Okay, so it looks like your power is going to be really good in September. So you'd be quite well placed to actually ignore this person, or not maybe ignore them, but, you know, just be really conscious about how you deal with it, and sort of, you might just be like, oh, thanks, but no thanks. Or like I said, you don't have to come up with excuses and justify yourself to somebody, because things can get misconstrued and very quickly things snowball into kind of unconscious conversations. But you can just kind of just create space and just be like, you know, have a reason why you can't, and then time just takes care of it. You've also got the Magician card. So, you know, you've got the magic touch basically in September. You have got the magic touch. You're freeing yourself from a situation with somebody who could give you a lot, but just basically don't. And I know that's hard to take if you really love your twin flame, or if there's somebody in your family or a friend who you have always really loved and cared about. But this is what the cards are showing. You've got to be cold. It's time for a change. This person is stubborn. They're too worried about what other people think. So they always end up choosing the wrong tactics and the wrong approach, and they're not learning their higher lessons. They're impatient. They give up too soon. They quit too soon. They're very rigid. They're very stubborn. So they don't really want to change and open up and take any sort of risk. If they do, it's going to be something where it's a small offering, and then they could actually get distracted and not really pull through for you. The advice from Spirit is it's over. You're actually through the worst of it with this person. I feel like it was already killing you before, but you're over the worst of that. This time around, it won't kill you the same way. Yeah, look at that. You're moving on. Spirit is just saying, you know, time to move on. Time to move on, right? And then the outcome for the twin flame for September. Okay, Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups is, now it can really signify a friendship with somebody that is emotionally fulfilling. So there could be somebody here in September that really steps up for you, who's actually kind and caring and supportive. Someone could also introduce you to a new path that you will be very emotionally fulfilled about, that you will really like. It's somebody coming in with good news as well. It's like a good news card. So there's good news off the back of September, where I think you basically will be taking a step back from this twin flame or this person who's really emotionally avoidant. Yeah, you're basically going to be, this is very good news. You're going to be making the right decisions. You know, you're going to be starting a much happier chapter. Judgment card is about a new happy chapter, and it's because of the good work you've put in. and where you've put that good work in, you get the rewards. And that's the only reason you're getting a good chapter start up in September, because of the good work that you've done in August dealing with all of this. Because when I look at the cards, it is vexing, you know, it's stressful with this person. If you go back down the road with that person, I just feel they try to offer you something tempting, but it's not really reliable, and they're still very blocked all the time. They're very blocked all the time, and they care about how they look, they care about how they come across, they care about work or that type of thing, money, and they are very stubborn in defending how they think they should live their life, you know. And fair enough, we've all got our, you know, right to live the way we want to live, but it's kind of, it feels like it's to the detriment of their relationship with you, you know, because they're not willing to compromise at all. They're just hell-bent on doing what they want to do and being very private. There's a very private energy here, and I just feel like you've had enough. You've had enough, and it's like, you know what, it's time for a change. You know, if you want to do, if this is how you want to live, go ahead. You know, it's your choice, because I'm not going to be bound to you anymore. It's not really fair on me. You're not learning the higher lessons. You're not stepping up. You've quit on our relationship too soon. You sort of, it's like you're just giving up, you know, because you don't want to kind of, you know, you don't really want to evolve as a person. You just want to stay stuck in your patterns the way you've always been, and you're being very rigid and stubborn about that, and anything you're going to offer me isn't really going to be very reliable. So, you know, you found your inner power in September. This is what's going to happen. You find your inner power, because it's like you're not lying to yourself anymore. You're not in denial. You see things as they really are, and you know you're through the worst of it. You know you're moving on. And so September heralds a very lovely new beginning, a new chapter that will be very happy, emotionally fulfilling, possibly a partner that is, you know, supportive and kind, or a friend that's supportive and kind, or a new path. You know, it could be a new spiritual path or a new hobby. Whatever it is, you're going to be much, much happier out of this situation by September. And maybe that's why they're sort of saying, you know, don't get gloomy. Don't get gloomy, be thankful, because you're going to be thankful. You are going to be thankful when you look back at this and you think, do you know what, that just wasn't the right energy for me. And you can still, if it is your twin flame, you can still send them love energetically. I do with mine, you know. And that's why it's good not to get into an argument with this person. Don't let your ego try to interfere with this. Let this be as peaceful as you can. That's the most beautiful thing you can do, because they've obviously got their own issues and ego they're dealing with, like as do we, but you're moving into a much happier chapter in September. Okay, so not all of you may like that reading or resonate, but it's what's coming out in the cards, and I am sending you lots of love. If you do want to book in for a reading, just contact me. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up as well. Peace.